Hello, everyone, and welcome to Support Someone Saturday. I'm so excited to be here today with Veronica Ciurleo. Veronica is the founder, CEO, and executive director of Duluth Harbor Rescue Mission. This mission was birthed in Veronica's heart in 2014 after sitting on a board of directors at a local shelter. A fire was stirred in Veronica or Ronnie's heart to do the same thing on the other side of town, and that she wanted to glorify Christ in every decision made. So Ronnie sat in that fire for almost 2 years and then called some of our smart friends and asked, do you think we could do something this extreme for Christ? And they said, yes, let's do it. Ronnie has an amazing story to tell us about her rescue mission in Duluth, Minnesota, which is my birthplace, so it's near and dear to my heart. It's been going strong now for 6 years. How are you doing tonight, Ronnie?
Hi, thank you. I'm doing very well. Thank you.
I'm so glad to have you on here. So I just interviewed my cousin recently, and she is the treatment director at Minnesota Adult and Teen Challenge. And she had mentioned you, and I'm so excited to be interviewing someone else from Duluth because I have been praying for Duluth for several years. Like I said, I was born there and raised there. And so I think it's awesome what you're doing, and I can't wait to hear about it. And I know you were just down here in Chicago because I'm in Chicago.
Yes.
And you were just at the Pacific Garden mission. And so
Yeah.
we've done things to help them out. So that's an amazing
Great.
mission as well. Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
Okay. So Ronnie, how did the mission get started after you talked to your friends and they agreed to help you? Can you tell us, how did you find your building and how was the rescue mission birthed?
Right. So we met. We gathered a group of people who smart people, as we say, that agreed to be a part of the board of directors. And we went through all the legal things and did everything we needed to do. And we had our first board meeting in September of 2016. And then in February of 2016. And in September of 2016, we had our first hot meal. In March of 2017, as the board was continuing on and building the vision, we did build our website, and we were serving out of a local church basement. A woman saw what we were doing. She took me out to dinner, and she laid out pictures of buildings that were for sale in the neighborhood. And she said, "Which one speaks to your heart? I want to buy it for you." And she bought us a building for Duluth Harbor Mission, which was just phenomenal. It was completely God.
That's huge. Oh my goodness.
Truly,
Wow.
truly.
That's like something you can't even imagine in your dreams. That's totally a God moment.
Absolutely.
You have this birth in your heart, you want to do it, but you're probably thinking, how do I even do this? A lot of times God calls us to something so much bigger, right? And then
Oh, right.
how do you fund it? And then you randomly meet someone who offers to buy you a building. I mean, that just really is like God putting an exclamation mark on it.
Oh, I know, I know. And of course, you go into these things always wondering, God, is it you? Is it me? We want to be sure it's him. And
Yes.
so many confirmations, and that was it right there. Like, yes, full speed ahead.
Wow, that is so cool. That is so exciting. So I love that story. You really know it's God. And so then whenever times are coming where you're tested, you can always go back, okay, God, you started this, so you're going to get us through
Absolutely.
this.
Yes.
Right? I thought of that too.
Right on. Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Can you tell us, who are you primarily reaching through the Duluth Harbor Rescue Mission? Can you tell us a little bit about it and who do you serve? And
Okay. We're reaching the homeless, those who are experiencing homelessness, experiencing poverty, those who are experiencing domestic violence, and also those who are looking for recovery. We see the homeless shelter as like a recruiting ground for people who are looking for life change. And we just offer, through the gospel of Jesus Christ and the compassion of Jesus, a very unique facility where love and compassion builds relationships, and we get trust built up with our clients. And in time, you would be surprised the amazing relationships that we build, and how they open up and they talk about the trauma that's taken place in their past. And then we're able to start with change talk on what we can do to go forward to bring them out of where they're at and into a thriving life. So that's, we're reaching out to those that have been broken.
Mhm.
Mhm.
I love that. And even like for me, just growing up in Duluth, and I was there till I was 8, and then we moved to Esco. But my dad used to take us to the Union Gospel Mission. So when we were young, I remember going there, and we would either bring things there and donate, or I feel like we were even in the mission, maybe serving food and stuff. And so from a young age, my dad gave, like helped me develop that passion, I guess, to help kind of
Beautiful.
the least of these. And so I still to this day have a heart for the homeless. We help out a friend of mine called, her organization is called Hearts for Hope. But it's not like an actual building. We go
Mhm.
out and deliver on the streets of
Oh,
Chicago. And
okay.
my son actually loves doing it. So now my son is 12, and he said, Mom, when I get older, I want to start a homeless shelter. Isn't that awesome?
That is so awesome.
So it's so
It
cool.
really is. It
Keep
really is.
passing it forward, generation after generation. So I love what you're doing there. It's so needed. Okay, so say someone is watching right now or listening, and they have a loved one who could either use help, or maybe they want to partner with you, what you're doing there. What would be the best way for them to reach out and contact you?
Well, of course, email.
Okay.
Is that
Yeah, sure. Do you
okay?
want to give your email? Is it okay to give your email?
It sure is.
Okay.
Yes. Yes. Veronica at duluthhm.org.
Okay.
And then also, of course, our telephone number is 218-481-7400.
Okay.
They
That's
can reach
good.
out those two ways. Yes.
Okay.
We also have a very active Facebook page.
Oh, nice.
I invite everyone to go to Facebook, Duluth Harbor Mission, and like our page. And you can get a good idea of everything that's going on there, and private message through there
Okay.
also.
That's awesome. So that's great. There's different ways they can get a hold of you. And I love that. Are you guys doing some special things for the holidays coming up?
Well,
Thanksgiving, Christmas?
yeah, what we're doing is actually we're working alongside of the College of Saint Scholastica. Now,
Yeah.
typically they do a big thing downtown in our city. Thousands come to the Deck Arena for
Okay.
free Thanksgiving dinner. But because of COVID, they're not doing that this year. But what they're doing is offering missions like ours and a couple of the other outreach facilities in town the opportunity to give out meals to go. They're bringing them, they're
Oh,
cooking it, they're
nice.
doing all the work, they're bringing them boxed up right to our front door,
Nice.
and we'll be able to just give them out to folks as they need. So
Oh,
that's what we're going to be
that's
doing this year. It's phenomenal. Yeah.
that's so cool. I love to hear that. That's so great. I
Mhm.
never knew that they did that, a big thing at the deck. That's awesome.
Yes,
You know,
yes, yeah.
they're willing to
Many
carry
years
that.
now.
Yeah, that's so helpful. So that was my next question. I was going to ask you, how has like the COVID-19 and the pandemic affected what you're doing there at your
Right.
mission? So that's one way it's changed. You have to do the boxed meals. Yeah.
Right. Well, for that Thanksgiving event, now we are open. We do let folks come in.
Nice.
We did a 6 people at a time is what
Oh,
we would allow,
yeah.
and conveniently spaced out. We were doing temperatures and all of that,
Okay.
and then also masks and things like that. We've had a fantastic run. It was only just this, like last month was the first time we had somebody experience COVID.
Okay.
And we did close up for a week, just about a month ago. But otherwise, we've been doing really well.
Nice.
I actually heard a statistic that a lot of the homeless folks, through like Skid Row in LA and all that kind of stuff, that
Mhm.
um, there's not a high rate of COVID through the homeless
Yeah,
population,
that's good.
because they're not out and about and shaking hands and grocery shopping and all of that kind of
Yeah.
stuff.
Yeah, that
Um,
makes
I,
sense.
I did hear, so we'll see. Yeah,
Good. I'm glad to hear that. I'm glad to hear you're open, because I'm sure people need to come in and find that community and the support. So it's more than just a meal, or maybe whatever clothing or whatever you're giving out. It's like they're finding that love. Like you said, you're building a relationship, right? So it's,
exactly.
yeah, they need that too. So that's good that you're able to do that. Can you tell us a success story of someone who's been helped through the Duluth Harbor Rescue Mission?
Yes, I will. I'll call her Sherry. And when Sherry first came to us 3 years ago, she was active heroin user,
Mhm.
and she was mean and violent. And there were many times we had to ask her to leave. She wasn't allowed to come back for particular reasons.
Mhm.
And then when she was able to come back, she would. Sherry went into treatment. Sherry became sober. She is
Okay.
now 2.5 years heroin free.
That's so awesome.
And
Yay.
I know, and she
Lord.
also was living under a bridge.
Mm,
She'd been used and abused, and all these years living under a bridge and continuing and coming to us, building this relationship. Sherry now comes in to help us. She's completely
nice.
sober. She just maybe a month ago got her apartment, so now she's housed, and she's praying with us, and she's looking to Jesus for answers in her life.
That's so cool. What an amazing story. I love
It
hearing.
really is.
And she's come back to help you. She's like,
I know, right?
yeah,
We do find that a lot of the folks that do go into treatment do come back. They always come back if just to come and have a cup of coffee with us or
yeah,
something. Guys, but that's one way we're unique too, is when they are in treatment, I continue contact with them.
yeah,
If they need anything, if they need clothes or anything in treatment, a Bible, we'll send that to them.
nice. That's so
Mhm.
awesome. So now are you open like every day? Can I ask like what your hours are or how does that
We're
work?
open Monday through Friday
Mhm.
is what we're open. We
Okay.
are closed on the weekends. Mhm.
Okay. That's great. And so people can come in and get meals. Do you offer like hot meals or do you have like a food pantry where they can come and pick out food or how does it kind of look in there?
We do offer hot meals, and another way we're unique is that it's not like just from noon to 1. It's
Okay.
all day. If you come in, you get a hot meal at 10, or you come in at 1, you get a hot
Nice.
meal. And we do have food pantry, and that's another unique thing. It's not, every Thursday of the
Yeah.
month, that type of thing. If you come in and you need a bag of groceries, we give you a bag of groceries. It's just that seamless.
Yeah, that's really awesome. That's great that you're open that often. Because even we have a food pantry here by where I live, but I think they're open like 3 days a week. So it's nice
Okay.
that you're open, as many days.
Mhm.
And then
Yeah.
did you say you also offer clothing? Yeah.
We do. We have clothing, jackets, winter gear, tents, sleeping bags.
Nice.
Mhm.
So now say someone is watching and would you take donations of those things? Like what would you say would be your main thing you need or can people bring you those donations or would you say, okay, yeah, we need groceries or we would need cash or like what would be your main need?
Well, of course, we always need cash.
Really?
Of course. But what we do need are gloves, the warm winter
Okay.
gloves, not the knitted mitts.
Okay.
We need warm winter gloves.
Okay.
We do not need jackets or clothes. We have a full house.
Okay.
Praise God.
Yeah.
We're real good there, but those warm winter gloves and two-man tents are really our need right now.
Man tents. Okay. Wow. Are
Mhm.
people even tenting in the winter? Yeah.
We do. Mhm.
Wow. That's pretty
We
amazing.
do.
You
It
know,
is amazing, especially up here in northern Minnesota.
yes. I know some people try to do it here too, and it's hard, because it gets really cold in Chicagoland. And I know
Yeah.
there's tent cities in Chicago, and then there's one out in Elgin, which is not too far from us, kind of
Mhm.
way northwest suburbs. So yeah, and I don't know, they try to do it in the winter too. It's my heart goes out to them.
It's crazy. Yeah,
Yeah.
right.
Okay, this has been really helpful to learn more and to hear what you need. Is there anything else you want to add, Ronnie, tonight that we didn't cover that you want to share with us?
Well, I will add that Duluth Harbor Rescue Mission is, it's a nonprofit, as you said, but we're different. We don't receive any city government funding. We're all
Okay.
privately donated. We want to make sure that God remains our authority, and that's one way we can do it is to
Nice.
just receive private donations.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's great. So that's a great way to do it. And then you can kind of decide, do you do like Bible studies or you pray with, the people that
Mhm.
come in?
Yeah, we actually have a big old neon sign in our front window that says Jesus saves. So
Yeah, that's
um
awesome.
that's it's nice to be able to have that.
Yeah. Do you guys have like set times for Bible studies or do you just kind of like minister to people on an as needed basis? Like how do you do that?
Well, we do as needed, of course,
Yeah,
always, all day.
sure.
And then I'll take time out during the day and read scripture, to whoever's in the facility at the time. And I do lead a Bible study on Thursdays.
Hmm.
Mhm.
That's awesome. That's so cool.
Mhm.
I love to hear that, just how
Yeah.
you incorporate Jesus and yeah, just hearing stories like Sherry, like how, he
Oh.
just turned her life around. So yeah, so much power in his
You
name.
know,
Mhm.
can I share another story?
Yeah, please do.
There was a woman once at the door when I showed up for work, and I walked to the door, and she said, "Can you help me?" I'm telling you, she was just really destroyed. And she said, "I have not always been like this. I used to be the president of the PTA." And we went inside the building, and I reached out to her. I said, "Can I pray with you?" And I reached out to her, and she pulled back and she said, "You're going to touch me? You're going to touch me?" And I
Mhm.
said, "Yes, I'm going to touch you." And I took her hand and I prayed for her. And
Mhm.
we sat and talked for a bit. And she left. And about 3 weeks later, she came back. I wasn't there. I missed it. But she came back and she was filled with joy. She experienced something that day, and it turned her life around. Within that 3 weeks, she got an apartment, and she's just been living a real good life ever since. But
Wow.
the point of this is that these folks that are out on the street, they're deemed untouchable by a
Mm,
lot of people.
yeah.
And when just the thought of a human touch can
Mhm.
break so many emotional things inside of a person. They can restore hope. It restores hope. And I just wanted to tell that story that Duluth Harbor Mission is a really unique place in Duluth. It's filled with love and compassion in Jesus.
I love that. It's so needed. And I think you hit it on the head because I know it's been hard for a lot of people, even here, our kids were out of school for like a year with the pandemic, just the isolation, You see
Yeah.
people on a screen, but it's different when you're face to face. Or like you said, if you can touch someone or, like that was all lost, So it's so important. I think people getting together and like you said, just being able to
Mhm.
hold their hand and pray for them and
I
that's
know.
that's
Yeah.
so cool. I love those stories. Thank you for sharing that, Ronnie. Very inspiring. Okay, so thank you everyone for tuning in today with us on Support Someone Saturday. Thank you, Ronnie, for telling us all about the Duluth Harbor Rescue Mission. I love highlighting Duluth. So
Yay.
yay! I know it's so exciting. It's near and dear to my heart. This has been a very timely chat, especially coming into the holidays, the winter months. If you're out there listening, Ronnie will accept donations and they're really looking for warm winter gloves, like are weatherproof. If you know of someone that needs assistance, or maybe you even want to reach out to Ronnie, you can go to duluthhm.org or you can reach out to her on her email. You want to give us your email again?
Veronica at duluthhm.org.
There you go. You can email so then you can get in touch with her right away. So thank you so much, Ronnie, for joining us tonight. It's been a pleasure to
Oh,
have you on here. You're doing an awesome work. Please keep it up.
thank you, Amy.
You're
Thank you.
welcome. Thanks for joining us, everyone, and have a blessed Saturday.